Today, we need to button up a few loose ends, a lot of loose ends on the K-NSX build. Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to yet another K-swapped NSX build episode. Last video that you guys saw with this car, we got the engine and transmission installed into the car, and that's where we stopped. So the motor mounts are on, and that's about it. Today we need to get the cradle assembly back up in here. I'm hoping that it clears the oil pan. It's gonna be so close, man. I might have to modify the oil pan. Let's hope not. Either modify the oil pan or modify the cross member. So we need to drop the car down and get this reattached to the frame. There is a rear motor mount that we need to get situated. And then we can move on to sensors, wiring, fuel system, intake stuff. We have a long ways to go. Axles, we got to figure out axles. I'm waiting on parts to get the shifter assembly done. We still need cables. And then I'm waiting on parts for the clutch system as well. So clutch pedal with the clutch pedal bracket, slave, master, and a really, really long clutch line because of course it runs all the way from the front of the car to the back. All right, first test fit, cradle, motor, car. Let's see if it all works together. Everything fits except for one little thing. This skid plate right here, that's actually a factory skid plate that protected the factory oil pan. And as you can see, it is hitting our big old Unit 2 oil pan. So I'm gonna pull this thing off. If we do a slight modification or just not run it at all, that'd be fine. I do wanna run it though, because the last thing I want is stuff hitting the pan. All right, that's what I ended up with for now. We have about a finger gap, but it is aluminum. So if I need to bend it later on, that is not a big deal. Let's move on to the rear motor mount. The rear motor mount is two different pieces. So this guy here bolts to the, I should probably stop saying motor and start saying transmission. This bolts to the transmission. This guy bolts to the chassis or the body of the car and down to the subframe. This rear mount is definitely pretty difficult to get sorted out. I'm gonna do some finagling, but I might have to cut apart the mount and remake it. It's about an inch off to the left. After some serious massaging, loosening up everything on the subframe, loosening up the motor mounts, we finally got everything to work together. So as of right now, all three motor mounts are on, subframe is on and tightened. And I'm glad it all worked out because I really didn't want to have to cut this thing apart and modify it. I would have if I had to, but I'm glad I didn't have to. This guy right here, this thing is ugly. I know this isn't really a big deal, but this is a factory mount for the back of the factory transmission, this guy right here, and it's just kind of hanging down out of the way. Let's go ahead and remove that. Unfortunately, this piece is Cerakoted, so in the future, I might have to pull that off and recoat it. But for now, let's just get that out of the way. that is ugly, but that is all we can do. The good old Milwaukee grinder cutoff wheel seized up again for the third or fourth time this thing has gone out. Let's go ahead and sort out one of the bigger issues with motor swaps. That is axles. So it is a Honda. Hondas require what is called an intermediate shaft. The intermediate shaft runs from the transmission all the way over to right about here. Bolts on with that, and that hole there. This is for all K series. And then we have some axles. So this is the right-hand side, left-hand side. These are made by Insane Shafts, and these should be bolt-on and run axles. Now I have seen some issues on other K-swapped NSXs on the internet, and some people have issues with these being too short. I think Insane Shafts updated their specs, but I'm not sure if these guys are the updated version or not. I'd rather deal with this now versus later on when we're ready to drive the car. So the intermediate shaft takes two of these special bolts. Unfortunately, I only have one of them here, but it goes in that hole there, nice and tight, and that hole right there. That hole takes a regular non-stepped bolt. Intermediate shaft is installed, adjusted the little dust shield, the dust guard, so it's closer to the seal. Let's go ahead and install the axles. Easiest way to do this is just pull off the lower ball joint, swing the knuckle out of the way, install the axle, install the knuckle, and we're done. It looks like the internet was right. The passenger side axle appears that it is too short. If I go ahead and feel inside the boot, I can feel the actual ball. I might pull the boot off to show you guys, but I can feel the actual ball that's supposed to be deep inside the joint. I can feel it right here. All right, so I contacted Insane Shafts about the issue. Let's hope they make one that's a little bit longer. If not, we'll have to go custom. Let's move on to the next thing, which is coolant. We need to sort out the cooling system. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal to get figured out, but let's start mocking some stuff up, figure out what we need to do for hoses, so on and so forth. I have two parts from K-Tuned. These should both help out. These guys should both help out quite a bit. This is a upper coolant housing with the filler and a swivel lower water neck. This mounts on the water pump. This mounts on the head. So this is all going to be for mock-up only. I just need to get the hoses figured out. I think this is going to have to be modified to work with our intake manifold. So for now, I won't be sealing it up. Again, mock-up only today. Let's figure out what we need to do. So this guy is the thermostat housing, and it mounts onto the side of our water pump housing, I guess you'd call it. The cool thing about the K-Tuned unit is this guy can swivel any way you want it. Both upper and lower, we can choose if we're gonna do the AN or the factory slip style. This build, I'm just gonna stick with the slip style. And then the upper coolant neck, which mounts on the head, comes with the filler neck as well. Let's get this guy installed, which sits right here. Now, one thing we probably won't need, I haven't figured this out yet, but this on, say, a traditional Honda, that is a heater core hose. Now, of course, the heater core in this car is way at the front. Upper unit is installed, lower is installed as well. That is not gonna work for this build. That style right there doesn't use a thermostat. This thing isn't going that race car to not run a thermostat, but that gives us a rough idea of what we need to do for the radiator hoses. So let's go ahead and install this guy here and see what needs to be done. All right, so after doing a little bit more messing around, I'm gonna just convert this to 16 AN like I did on the Type R. So K-Tune includes the AN fittings for this side. This side, I'll cut these off and weld on some 16 AN fittings there. This one here runs to the heater core. I'm not gonna worry about any of that for now. Let's deal with the radiator hoses first. Going to AN is gonna simplify a lot of things. That is 1.5 inches. These are 1.25 inches. Instead of doing some weird adapter and whatnot, let's just go to AN. While I got the bungs welded on, I'm gonna go ahead and not zoom in because I really don't know how to aluminum weld still. We need to swap that out and the lower one out with the 16 AN fittings and see about how our hoses are gonna run. The lower hose is easy, 90 off of there, straight off of there, done deal. The upper hose, man, there's just not a lot of space. That isn't enough hose. There has to be some flex in it. Otherwise, when the motor moves, when we're, making all the sauce, it's gonna rip this hose apart. So what I might end up doing is coming back even farther and welding on the bungs back here. Not only will it give me another chance to try and get better at welding aluminum, but I think it's gonna clean everything up. We can do a 45 straight off of this pipe here, straight into here. We don't need a little S loop. It'll look super nice and clean. And like I said, it'll give me another chance to get better at welding those things up. Unfortunately, those are the only two 16 AN weld-on bungs that I had here. We won't be able to do that tonight, but hey, we still made a lot of good progress. A few things I need to order up: more bungs, a proper lower thermostat housing that actually holds a thermostat. There's an upper coolant fitting that goes right here that runs down to the thermostat as well. And of course, some 16 AN hose. And this thing will have a cooling system. All right, my friends, that is gonna be a wrap on the day. I feel like we didn't get a whole lot done, but at the same time, we kind of did because we found out a bunch of issues, things that we need to resolve and overcome before the NSX has its first start and its first drive. If you are building a K-swapped NSX, make sure you get updated axles, not the old version that are too short.